exam muna natin. I already checked and wait lang. Nasaan na ba yun? Just let me know if you can see the screen and or kung may mga gusto kayong i-comment regarding sa or tanong doon sa exam, mag-share lang ako. Wait lang, loading lang siya. Okay. Mabilisang rationale lang naman to. And then, don't worry guys, I already gave additional points for all of you sa exam. And sa mga ano natin. Okay. Guys, hindi ko nababasa yung chat if may chat if ever. On yun na lang yung mic. After ng rationale, discuss lang ako saglit ng contrast agent. Okay? So, for the prelim exam, number 1, which term best describe the primary focus of medical term? The answer is letter D. Study of chemicals used to prevent, diagnose, and treat disease through interaction with the living system. Number 2, who is the founder of the first U.S. Pharmacology Department? It is John Jacob Abel. Letter B. Then, 3, who established pharmacology as independent discipline and taught in the University of Strasbourg? It is D. Oswald Schmiendeberg. Then, 4, which of the following is not, take note, not, hindi po totoo, about drugs? The answer for this one is B, they don't have impact on living organism, which is, meron po talaga silang impact. Kasi ina-alter niya, it can alter the natural or mimic yung natural way sa katawan natin. Then 5, what distinguish drug from other substances? It's letter B. Drug are identified by their chemical composition and physiological effect. Then, which term is sometimes used interchangeability with generic name or another term for generic name? It is approved name. Letter B. Then, what does the chemical name of drug primarily describe? It is the chemical structure because the chemical name describes the molecular structure of a drug. Then 8, when should the generic name ideally be used in prescription? It is by the generic name, which is the generic name is used uniform and worldwide. Kasi standardized siya, tsaka universally recognized. Then 9, which of the following is an example of drug having multiple brands? The answer for this one is paracetamol. Kasi yung Tylenol, example of, ang Tylenol po, it is a brand name. So, answer po for this one is paracetamol ng kayang-kaya niyang magkaroon ng iba't ibang brand name, I mean. Then 10, what is the term used for non-proprietary? It is generic name, the other term. Then, what essential patient information should include sa prescription, legal prescription, lalo na pag inpatient? So, patient address, patient room number, and then patient name. Pag inpatient, kailangan exam muna natin. Permanent. That's why, meron pa rin naman. It may. Factor influencing choice of medication form. From the word choice, tsaka medication form, the patient's ability to ensure, it helps. That's why, meron pa rin naman internally. Mas mataas po ang benefits the receptor while the antagonist inhibits them. So, letter C yung sagot. 25. Evaluate the potential danger of opioid addiction. Answer is C. Opioids are highly addictive and potentially fatal or nakakamatay. Then, how would you advise a patient to use an inhaler effectively for respiratory condition? From the word inhaler. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung may mga asthma. So, inhale, breathing. The answer is letter B. Breathe in the aerosol mist slowly. The most suitable route for fast-acting medication. Word natin dito, most suitable route. Saan yung pinaka-suitable, comfortable yung pasyente? Fast-acting medication. Answer po is oral. Kasi comfortable, suitable po yan yung pasyente na mag-take ng oral. Compare natin dito sa tatlong to. Then, how can the pharmacokinetics influence dosing recommendation for specific medication? The answer for this one is it helps to ensure the effectiveness ng medication while minimizing adverse effect. Mas mataas po ang benefits na kailangan kaysa risk. So, answer is A, 3 only. Then, how drug formulation impacts their effectiveness? The answer is, it depends on the formulation. Different formulation may affect dissolution and subsequent absorption. So, letter C po yung sagot. Then, 30, is there an impact of placebo effect on overall success of treatment plan? The answer is, it may contribute to a temporary improvement. The word is temporary. Hindi po siya permanent. That's why, meron pa rin naman. It may. May nga lang. Then, the risks and benefits of using cannabinoids for recreational purposes. The answer is C. Risks outweigh the benefits. Medyo mataas na po ang risk kaysa sa benefits. That's why kailangan ng prescription or may ilan country na legal ang cannabinoids but some other country hindi po siya legal. Kasi nga nami-misuse siya and ginagamit siya as parang pang-relax or pang-high. Ganon, which is very addictive. Then, effectiveness of different drug administration route in achieving rapid onset action. It is intravenous is the most effective. Bakit? Kasi diretso na po sila sa veins natin. Mabilis na siya. Yun nga lang, medyo uncomfortable kasi tuturuan ka internally. Which drug classification includes medication that increase energy focus and wakefulness? The answer is stimulants. Which route of drug administration involves ingesting chemical by breathing them in? From the word breathing them in, it is inhalation. What does the term pharmacodynamic focus in the drug study of drugs? Study of drugs, di po. Effect of drugs on the body. Guys, hindi ko nababasa kung may chat ha. Enzymes as a target site of drug primarily to catalyze biochemical reaction. Then, 37, the placebo effect is influenced by expectation and mind-body connection. This is why psychological and physiological effect on the mind and body. Placebo effect, it is temporary. What does the dose refer in medication? Meaning, amount of medication prescribed. Kung gaano kadami po yung ita-take ni patient. Or gaano tama yung dose niya. Then, which right medication ensure the medication is administered to the correct individual. Ito lang po yung tatandaan natin. Correct individual yung clue natin. That's why right patient. What is the primary purpose of obtaining a patient medical history? Para maintindihan natin yung existing condition ni patient. Kasi kung hindi natin alam yung medical history ni patient, pag binigyan natin siya ng bawal, baka matrigger lang, mag-worse lang yung kalagayan ni patient. Why it is crucial to check for allergies before administering medication? To avoid potential harmful reaction. Kasi nga, what I said is ma-worse lang po ang condition ni patient kung hindi natin alam yung history ni patient. If the patient has allergy or bawal niya ba i-take to, etc. How does a patient age influence the dosage of medication? It is magdedepende po sa bigat ni patient. What is the consequence of giving drug incorrectly? Worsening of patient's condition. Why should prepared drug never be left unattended? Para maiwasan po natin yung contamination. Kasi baka mamaya if yung nabigay nating gamot kay patient or prepared na drug kay patient, iniwanan lang muna natin. Never be left unattended. Medication. Drug kay patient, iniwanan lang. Age influence the dosage of medication. It is magdedepende po sa bigat ni patient. What is the consequence of giving drug incorrectly? Worsening of patient's condition. Why should prepared drug never be left unattended? Para maiwasan po natin yung contamination. Kasi baka mamaya if yung nabigay nating gamot kay patient or prepared na drug kay patient, iniwanan lang basta ng isang tech, for disposal na pala yun or nagamit na pala yun. So, it possible mag-contaminate pag binigay natin kay patient sa bagong patient. What is important to use? Two identifiers to ensure correct patient receive the correct medication. What is the purpose of checking medication label in order to ensure the right medication? To prevent medical or medication error. And then, umulit lang to. The answer is oral. Then, What do diuretics do in terms of fluid? Diuretics more on the urine. So, kailangan po mag-increase ng urine output at wala pong matira doon sa urine output. Then, what is the primary function of agonists? To mimic natural signaling molecules. So, ito yung prelim exam natin. Then, guys, if you have questions sa grades, you just PM me directly. As of now naman, upon checking, wala namang bagsak. That's good. Wala namang bagsak. And also, I already gave additional grades po sa inyo para yung may mga tag dito, kung kailangan humabol-habol, binibigyan ko naman additional grades. Don't worry. Hindi ko na kayo papahirapan. Then, contrast agent. Wait lang, guys. The contrast agent po, since this is the discussion for this week, next week po, mag-quiz kayo kung ano yung sinend kong lecture last week and then for this week. So, direction na lang ako, guys, kasi alam ko yung iba nasa biyahe. Kaya, may recorded naman to. Follow nyo na lang by the recording video. Okay? So, first, contrast agent. Contrast agent or contrast media or contrast dye, this is the number 1 pharmacological or pharmaceutics na nahahawakan natin sa buong stay natin in medical field. Ito talaga, dito tayo madalas nagpo-focus. Bakit? Ang contrast agent, kapartner yan sa radiology. The contrast media, it is a chemical substance of very high or very low atomic number that increase or decrease density of organ under examination. Si contrast media, contrast dye or contrast agent, iisa lang yan. Technically, gamot siya, but this gamot is wala pong nakukuhang healthy benefits. It is just, it enhance visibility of specific structures or abnormality in medical imaging. Nag-enhance, hina-highlight na lang yung organs, tissues, or blood vessels na dadaanan ng contrast media. So, since, again, contrast media is also known as contrast dye, contrast agent, they are substance used in medical imaging to enhance visibility of the structures, organ. They work by ina-alter na yung contrast between the different tissues. So, may mga iba't ibang types ng contrast media which has its own properties and application. So, may type tayo, type of the compound used by the contrast media. We have metallic salt, organic iodides, and gaseous agent. Si metallic salt, the composition of this one is the compound containing heavy metal such as barium sulfate. Barium sulfate. Yan, barium sulfate. Or ginagamit natin sa barium swallow or sa barium study or enema. Usage often for GI imaging, what I said, barium studies to outline the digestive tract. The mechanism, this salt absorb X-ray appears white on the X-ray film, providing good contrast with surrounding tissues. Then, yung properties nito, yung contrast agent na to, since meron siyang heavy metal, typically barium or other metallic salt, mataas yung atomic number niya. Madalas na ginagamit natin is barium sulfate sa GI study. Tapos, ina-outline niya madalas, or sabihin natin mas maganda siyang pang-outline ng digestive tract. Yan. Para makadetect ng tumors or mga abnormalities. Madalas na ginagamit lang siya sa X-ray or sa fluoro. Kung wala, yan. Then, we have organic iodides, composition, compound containing iodine. Significance, it is iodinated contrast agent, are widely used for various imaging modalities. Meron tayong dalawa. Ionic contrast agent and non-ionic contrast agent. So, this one sa ionic natin, this dissociate into charged particles. So, most likely, madalas siyang ginagamit, but meron siyang higher risk of adverse reaction. Example neto is triazolate or iothalamate sa ionic. Medyo hindi na siya masyadong ginagamit kasi mataas yung risk niya nagkakaroon ng allergic reaction yung mga pasyente. While non-ionic contrast agent is kabaliktaran siya ni ionic. Dito, don't associate into charged particles. Advantage niya, lower risk of adverse reaction compared to ionic. Example nito, iohexol and iopamidol. Madalas tong ginagamit sa CT scan. Madalas yan, CT scan studies, which is modern medical imaging na. Sa organic iodine, which is madalas ang natin dito, the contrast agent are commonly used sa iba't ibang technique ng medical imaging. Pwedeng CT scan, pwedeng angiography, or pwedeng urography. Yan. Depende yan guys kung kunyari pagka-graduate nyo, nakapasa kayo ng board, saan kayo ma-assign. Kasi pag ultrasound kayo, madalas po hindi, actually walang contrast media sa ultrasound. Siguro merong isa, which is water. Pero water is just, sabihin natin, hindi siya 100% contrast media. Ano lang siya, nakaka-help lang siya to identify parts or parts na ini-scan natin sa ultrasound. Then, we have gaseous. From the word gaseous, air and carbon dioxide. Used in medical procedure to highlight specific areas, specifically conjunction and other contrast agent. Angiography to visualize blood vessel. Then, gaseous contrast agent are typically inhaled or ini-induce sa body cavity to provide contrast. Nung nasa hospital ako, we use gas. Pag kunyari, nagbabarium enema kami. Kasi, pag gumamit kami ng contrast media, which is barium sulfate, para siyang gatas na minimix powder, then magmimix ka ng water. Tapos, sa barium enema, since enema po ito, sa sundaan, and then may catheter catheter na ginagamit, which is silicone type. May butas siya sa dulo. Mag-a-aspirate ng gatas. I-push namin yung mga dalawa doon sa ni patient. Tapos, pag full colon na bibigay ng gas, which is yung same syringe, mag-aspirate lang kami or hihilahin lang namin yun para magkaroon ng air. Then, yun yung ipupush namin sa doon, ng gaseous. Later, ipapakita ko sa inyo kung ano yung itsura ng double contrast sa colon. Then, syempre, we have to consider the adverse reaction. Since gamot pa rin ang possible na ginagamit natin. Allergic related contrast agents, especially ionic ones, may cause allergic reaction in some individuals. Syempre, allergic yan. It can range to mild to severe. Tapos, may mga symptoms siya ng itchiness, rashes, hives, etc. Kaya kailangan i-monitor si patient right after mag-administer ng contrast media. Then, renal function. Sa renal function naman, hindi po advisable na mag-prolong or mag-stay ng matagal sa katawan ng tao yung contrast media. What I said earlier, walang habits ang kukuha sa contrast media. It just help to enhance, highlight certain parts of the body. Pag nag-retain siya sa katawan ng tao, it can be toxic. That's why merong 24 hours post-evac or post-x-ray na ginagawa para malaman kung nailabas ba ni patient yung nabigay na contrast. Sa barium enema, usually kusang nilalabas ni patient yon. So, you have to instruct the patient na most likely pag parang nag-CR sila, milky yung lalabas. Kasi para talagang gatas yung contrast media natin, yung barium sulfate. Then, after 24 hours, syempre nag-post-evac or na-poops na lahat ni patient or nailabas lahat ni patient yon. Kailangan wala ng, kung meron man, konting trace na lang. Hindi na siya madami dapat. Then, patient preparation may be asked to fast undergo specific preparation depending on the type of contrast agent and imaging procedure. Pag CT scan, we required creatinine, which is, it is measuring the renal function. Sa sa CREA, 2 weeks validity lang yan. Pag mataas ang CREA, hindi po tayo pwedeng mag-proceed ng CT scan. Kasi, ibig sabihin nun, baka hindi kayang ma-filter ni patient yung ibibigay na contrast. That's why, kailangan ng clearance sa nephro. This is a kidney doctor. So, usually, sinasabi naman ng nephro, pag medyo elevated, pinapahydrate si patient, kailangan ng maraming tubig, and then papakuha ng bagong CREA. Nagno-normalize yan. But, pag masyado ng mataas, baka kailangan mag-medication muna ni patient bago mag-proceed sa examination. Then, contrast media in radiology purpose, we have to visualize anatomic detail or enhance the visibility of the organ of the body. So we have two, radiolucent, which is the negative, and radiopaque positive. So sa contrast media, the primary goal of it is to improve the visibility of a specific structure or areas within the body during medical imaging procedure. So, once na na-enhance, mas maganda na yung visualization ng mga organs, blood vessel, tissue, etc. It helps the radiologist and also us as a RadTech para ma-identify natin if una pa lang nalalaman natin kung may abnormalities doon sa kuha. So, si radiolucent, since this is negative, low atomic number, allows X-ray to pass. Transparent siya. Transparent to X-rays. Refers to structures that are less dense, which is nagpe-permit siya na yung X-ray beam nagpapass doon sa certain structure. Si radiolucent, negative, it appears dark or black sa radiograph. Since mababa yung atomic number niya, radiolucent materials have a low atomic number. Again, it allows the X-ray photons to pass through them easily. While we have the radiopaque, this is positive, high atomic number. It absorbs the X-ray photons. So, absorb the X-ray photons, it appears bright or white sa radiograph. Madalas na ina-example natin dito is iodine or iodine-based contrast media. Then, sa CT scan, sa barium sulfate pag sa mga GI. Then, ito, example natin dito is gas. So, ayan. For positive, we have barium, iodine. Gadolinium is ginagamit for MRI. Then, we have air, oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide for negative. Then here are some examples of positive contrast media. Barium sulfate barium with atomic number 56. Barium sulfate is a radiopaque contrast agent which is white, appear po niyan sa radiograph. Commonly used sa GI studies, mga barium swallow, barium enema. Tinutulungan yan mag-visualize yung shape and condition of the digestive tract. Then we have iodine. Ito, X-ray, CT scan, MRI. Iodine, iodinated contrast are radiopaque, widely used sa CT scan, angiography. In-enhance niya yung visibility of blood vessels, organs, and soft tissue. While gadolinium, ito naman ay paramagnetic. Paramagnetic contrast media employed in MRI to enhance the visibility ng tissue, pwedeng blood vessels, or mga blood-brain barriers. Ginagamit or normally ginagamit sa neuroimaging and musculoskeletal imaging. Then, negative contrast media, there are trace ng argon and carbon dioxide sa humidity. Then, the effective atomic number usually natin dito is 7 for nitrogen, 8 for oxygen. So, air is considered as negative contrast media in medical imaging. And then, yung substance na kasi na to, it allows the X-ray to pass through. Kaya nag-a-appear siyang maitim sa radiograph. Then, ito yung itsura. This is the positive. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyong full colon. Yung mag-insert tayo ng catheter dito, mag-insert tayo ng contrast gamit yung 50cc syringe. And then, ipipill out natin yung buong intestines ng contrast para malaman kung saan or kung may bukol si patient. This is positive contrast media. Then, while this is negative contrast media. Sometimes, this is naturally occurred pag, kunwari, hindi makapupo si patient or puro hangin si patient. Makikita natin marami siyang hangin. And then, after mag-post-evac ni patient, pwede siyang may mga hangin siya. So, ito, ang positive, ito yung negative contrast media. Ito ang halo na siya, may konting positive siya. But, majority, this is negative contrast media. So, we have double contrast media. Ito is binibigay natin sa pasyente para malaman natin if na-reach na ba natin yung full colon. Ganun ulit. Una mo nang binibigay yung positive and then negative contrast media. Ganyan lang naman. Madali lang naman yan to identify. Then, iodinated contrast media. May tatlo yan. Oily, water-soluble, water-insoluble. So, sa oily, since oily contrast media, lipophilic siya. And then, hindi siya water-soluble. Limited lang siyang ginagamit. Hindi siya pangkaraniwang ginagamit. So, parang ganito yan. Etong oil, pag naglagay ka sa tubig, 'di ba humihiwalay? So, medyo hindi siya magandang gamitin nowadays. Lalo na meron na tayong water-soluble contrast media na dissolve to sa tubig. May dalawa yan. Monomeric and dimeric. Sa monomeric, meron ding ionic and non-ionic. Sa monomeric, sinasabi niyan para siyang single molecules, which is used in medical imaging. Meron siyang one active component. Yan. But, sometimes, yung ionic, it can be HOCM. Pag sinabi nating HOCM, this is high osmolar contrast media. So, this type of contrast dye is medically or used in medical imaging in a certain area para mas maging visible. Meron siyang mataas na concentration, but mataas din yung risk ng side effect. This one, hindi na po siya madalas ginagamit nowadays. Kasi it is chemically used in medical imaging to improve visibility, but mataas kasi yung side effect niya. Which is, ang mas maganda kasi, ang focus kasi ng ano natin is mataas yung benefit, mababa yung risk. Kaya hindi na siya masyadong ginagamit. Then, pag dimeric naman is from the word di, two components po siya. Two components and then two identical molecules linked together. Then, ang madalas na example dito is gadodiamide and then gadopentate. Both of these ginagamit sa MRI. Then next, ionic or non-ionic. both of them, sa non-ionic, ay gumagamit ng LOCM, which is low osmolar contrast media. Another type ng dye din siya. Mas maganda tong gamitin kasi mababa yung concentration and then mababa yung risk ng side effect. Commonly used in modern imaging. Then, madalas ginagamit sa CT scan. And also, since mababa yung side effect niya, lower chance yung nagkakos ng allergic reaction and kidney issues. So, bottom line, LOCM is the go-to contrast dye these days because it has safer it's safer and works well with modern imaging technology. So the comparison is LOCM, more commonly used in modern technology nowadays due to lower side effects, while HOCM may be used in a specific situation where higher contrast is needed. But it is done carefully kasi mataas yung risk ng side effect nito. Then we have classification of contrast media, X-ray, ultrasound, MRI. What I said earlier, as of now, wala akong alam na contrast media na ginagamit sa ultrasound. Maybe water, but it is not considered as contrast media. It just help to locate some parts while you're scanning. For X-ray, we use positive and negative contrast media. So, si positive, it can be, again, non-water soluble, which is barium sulfate, iodinated contrast media. So, under iodinated contrast media, it can be oily or non-water soluble iodinated contrast media or water soluble. So, under ni water soluble, it can be hepatic excretion, iopanoic acid, or renal excretion. It can cause. Then, sa renal excretion, dalawa, high osmolar or low osmolar. Pag high osmolar, ang type ng contrast media natin dyan is ionic monomers, isang component lang or isang molecules. Example niyan is iothalamate or diatrizoate. For lower osmolar, may tatlo. Ionic dimers, non-ionic monomers, or non-ionic dimers. So, sa ionic dimers, dalawa, ioxaglyc acid, iocamic acid. For non-ionic monomers, metrizamide or iohexol. For non-dimers is we have iotrol or iotrolan. So, mga classification yan ng contrast media. Then, high-risk patient. Ito yung parang bago pa lang mag-start yung procedure, kailangan aware na kayo kung ano yung condition ni patient. Una, hypersensitivity contrast media. Meron tayong consent na binibigay kay patient bago mag-start yung procedure. Na lahat doon ini-indicate niya history, medical history niya, previous exam, etc. na naintindihan niya na may possible risk of yung procedure na yon. Diabetes mellitus. So, if the patient taking metformin, the normal instruction is they have to stop taking the medication on the day of the procedure. And then, after 2 days, i-resume siya. Kasi it can cause blood clot. Medyo naghahalo kasi. Sabi ko sa inyo, wala tayong benefits na nakukuha sa contrast. I mean, healthy benefits. Then, asthma, other respiratory condition. Kasi pag nag-administer tayo ng dye through IV chances na baka ma-trigger kasi yung respiratory condition ng patient. Multiple myeloma, severe dehydration, kasi pag mababa yung dehydrated, medyo nagsisiputukan yung veins, nahihirapan tayong mag-insight. And then, once na nag-push tayo, kasi may pressure yan, lalo na kung gagamit tayo ng machine na pang-push. Then, chronic or acute renal hepatic disease. Then, characteristic and properties. So, ganito yan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, the requirements of the contrast agent, una, mas madali pong i-administer. Madalas yung contrast agent natin, malapot siya, kaya mahirap siya mag-aspirate ng gamot. No toxicity, stable compound, good concentration on area, allows organ to be properly demonstrated, should have rapid elimination, kailangan po kasi para sa kidney function natin. Should not be carcinogenic, should have viscosity appropriate to patient, should only cause minimal distress to patient, and should be cost effective. So guys, tayo as a Radtech, tagapag-prepare po tayo ng gamot or ng contrast. But it depends on the radiologist or the instruction of the hospital, the policy of the hospital, if they allow us to administer it to the patient. So, in my case, sa hospital namin before, is wala kaming on-site radiologist. Like, everyday, wala kaming everyday. Per schedule lang sila. So, we have to call the general physician, general audit physician, or pedya pag bata. Then, pag pedya, sometimes, the pedia doctor, sila yung nagpupush or nagbibigay ng dose, or kung may automatic injector naman tayo, is dapat nakamonitor sila. So, pag may chance na manual push tayo, sometimes yung radiologist namin, they are allowing us to administer it directly to the patient, pero nakabantay sila. Wag na wag kayong magpupush ng contrast sa patient ng walang doktor. Kasi meron namang 5 minutes test dose to know if the patient is allergic to the contrast, but ang ano kasi nun is minimal or konting dose lang yung binigay. Baka kasi mamaya mas nati-trigger si patient if madaming dose. So once the radiologists allow you to administer, kailangan nandun sila. And then you have to monitor the patient time to time. Then terms, we have osmolarity, measurement of number of molecules in solution per kilogram of water, viscosity, thickness or resistance to flow of contrast agent, miscibility, the ability to mix, and toxicity, degree of chemical substance can cause biological damage. Then, mga indications is the use of barium sulfate, high atomic number, make the effective contrast ability to absorb the X-ray. Then, non-toxic, which is dapat non-toxic siya kasi ini-ingest siya sa katawan. Relatively cheap. So, inert, barium sulfate is chemically inert, meaning it does not react with the tissue or substance in the body. Taga-highlight lang po siya, dapat di siya magre-react. Hindi siya makakakos ng kahit anong trigger sa tissue or substance or part of the body, within the body. Then, it coat lining organs, since nga it just enhancing. Nag-enhance lang siya. Enhance the contrast between the organs and its surrounding tissues. Then, can be used for esophagogram, small bowel, or lower GI. So, esophagogram used to image the esophagus. Barium swallow ang madalas na ginagamit. UGI, upper gastrointestinal series, which is digestive. Then, small bowel series yan. Examine ng small intestine. And then, for lower GI or lower gastrointestinal, digestive, including the colon. Then, mga contraindication is renal failure, anuria, asthma, contrast allergies such as itchiness, hives, sneezing, dizziness, diabetes, multiple myeloma, hypersensitivity to iodine, heart failure, liver disease, hypovolemia. Then, reminder in administering contrast media, always get the patient history and consent as laboratory result like BUN, dapat ito yung ranging nila, CREA, ito din, EGFR, sometimes lang siya or optional lang siya. Always take a scout film before contrast injection para alam natin kung saan tayo magbe-base or kung saan yung natin, yung baseline to ensure proper positioning. Then, reaction classification. So, pag reaction classification, pag immediate reaction, ito yung instant na nandun sa department natin, nagkaroon ng allergic reaction sa patient. Pag delay, it occurs between the patient left the department up to 7 days. That's why, after the procedure, nung sa hospital namin, the policy is we have to instruct the patient to hydrate more, or after the procedure, we have to parang just be in the vicinity of the area within 30 minutes kasi if the patient experience hive or parang na-allergy, kailangan mapunta agad sa ER. Then, delayed side effect. Yan, magkakaroon siya ng rashes, hives, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, headache, nahihilo, nagkakaroon ng fever. So, dito, also we inform the patient, di ba nga, hydrate more para ma-wash out ng mabilis sa katawan. Iwasan yung mga malalansa kasi it can trigger allergies. Then, pag infants and patient are 60 and above, high risk sila magkaroon ng delayed side effects. Kaya, imo-monitor yan. Then, the category of reaction, pag mild muna, mild lang, nausea, vomiting, cough, sneezing, warm, headache, dizziness, shaking, altered taste, itching, pallor, namumutla, flushing, chills, sweat, rash, hives, nasal, stiffness, anxiety, sneezing, swelling of eyes, face. So, lahat to, mild pa lang yan. Pero, pag dumating na nahihirapan ng huminga, bumabagal na ang paghinga, hina-high blood na, nag-hypo na, nahirapan pa rin, or parang basta more on the wheezing, the respiratory, moderate na siya. Then, pag lahat yan na-accumulate, or one of each, yan, mild, moderate, then, paging nag-severe siya, ito yung nagsasarado na yung may lalamunan, tapos hindi na nagpa-pass through yung air, nagko-convulsion, hypotension, arrhythmia, unresponsive na cardiopulmonary arrest, which is anaphylactic shock na yung nangyayari. So, it can happen kasi allergy siya. So, you have to take care of the patient before, during, and after the procedure. So, always instruct the patient properly. Then, types of reaction, anaphylactoid, which is, this is unpredictable. Since unpredictable siya, it may happen suddenly. So, it resembles an allergic reaction, but not a cause of immune system. It's a cause of the contrast media. Then, ito, syempre, accumulated na siya by mild to severe na mga reaction siya. Then, requires siya ng immediate medication and then emergency. That's why, dapat may e-cart. Sa e-cart, dapat nandyan na yung high antihistamine, Dipen, naka-ready na yan. Then, chemotoxic predictable. This is typically related to the chemical properties of the contrast agent. The reaction is based on the pharmacological effect. If the contrast na ginamit nyo is high risk of side effect, madalas, malalaman na agad natin yan. Madalas to metallic taste, which is normal yan na nabibigay pag nag-administer ng contrast. May mga pasyenteng mainit daw sa pakiramdam, tapos parang, yun nga, metallic yung lasa, yun yung mga contrast. Then, usually occurs shortly after the administration. So, most reaction are mild, so the RadTech or the provider should monitor the patient closely in any severe reaction. Then, may mga patient at risk, which is yung nagkaroon na ng previous allergic reaction sa mga contrast media, may asthma, may history of allergy, heart disease, dehydrated. Also, if the patient have sickle cell anemia, polycythemia, and myeloma, renal disease. Pag renal disease, guys, pag nagda-dialysis, wag po natin pipiliting uminom si patient ng maraming tubig. Because if the patient is a dialysis patient, nahirapan na sila mag-filter ng water sa katawan or ng fluid sa katawan. So, the best thing that we can do is schedule the patient before their dialysis treatment. Kasi, at least after ng procedure na pagbigay ng contrast media, diretso sila sa dialysis, mapifilter out agad. Then, using of medication such as beta blocker, ito po ay para sa mga hypertension. Then, NSAID, interleukin 2, having received large amount of contrast agent within the past 24 hours. Yan. So, yun lang naman for the contrast agent. May questions po ba kayo regarding the contrast? May kailangan ulitin, ganyan. Questions, guys. Questions, suggestions, clarifications. May questions po ba? None po. Ayan, none po. So, since wala naman, I think I already gave the copy of this PDF. Quiz po tayo for next week. And then, after that, discussion ulit. Okay? Yung quiz natin is the topic from last week, the recorded lecture, and then this one, contrast media. Okay? So, ingat sa mga pauwi pa lang, uuwi, and take off the rest, the day ng mag-rest kayo. So, ayun. Thank you guys for listening.